Hi, I'm Rob, and in this Gems of War video, I'm going to show you a couple of really cool teams you can use for this faction assault in Roost. First of all, I do like to buy tier 1 from the shop for these things, but you don't need to. If your horde level in Roost is already on level 100 and beyond, you will have a potion of enchantment stored, so you don't need to actually buy it. Obviously, if you're going to go to tier 2 and beyond anyway, you are forced to buy tier 1, so in that case it would make no difference. Tier 4 there is a weapon, it's Fell Ward, gain magic +1 armor boosted by burning and diseased enemies, then burn all enemies or disease all enemies. It's an okay weapon, I wouldn't buy the gems just to get this. I'd prefer it if it just did one or the other, like I'd prefer it if it just burn all enemies. That for me would make this far more usable, but as it is, it's just a so-so weapon. Right, onto the first team here, a very straightforward construct team, and I'll show another team after this. I'll just show this one a few times, but this is really powerful and it's going to be very easy for the first few levels. Essence of Evil inflicts all negative status effects on an enemy, which is superb, and explodes a load of gems of their mana color, which is going to charge up your team. Going to be in Geomancer class for this. All constructs start with 50% mana. That is a really good thing for this. And we'll have Impact. Some of the things like this won't matter, like Mage Lord, gain 2 magic if in last position. You can put the hero to last place, but for me it doesn't actually make a lot of difference. I'd rather in first place because then you get the barrier, which I'll show in a second. Anti-magic sphere, reduce damage from spells by 20%. Tactician, gain 3 magic at the start, is handy if you're a newer player. Rock Solid, gain a barrier when matching brown gems, which we'll be doing a lot. Tree of Knowledge, gain enchant when matching green, which is really useful for our weapon. And a Fortitude. Just chucked on a Medal of Orpheus and 2 Anoisha medals because we don't need a Medal of Anu for this because all our troops start with 50% anyway. Charlestoni does damage to an enemy which you can target, then creates 3 brown gems boosted by all construct allies, and that is all construct in the team, so that is the maximum amount of brown. That will loop like crazy, and when that does, Cunning is here. And Cunning gives 4 to all skills on all Raksha allies when matching 4 or more gems. Cunning is the only Raksha in the team, but basically that means that all those 4 matches we're getting with Charlestoni, that is going to go up and up and up. So that damage to an enemy and a random enemy boosted by each enemy's life is going to go sky high. And if the enemy uses purple, deal double damage. What you can also do with this, if you don't have a Obsidiaxas, for example, is pop 2 Cunnings in the team. You can take out Obsidiaxas anyway, chuck Cunning in the team, and that's going to give you that double benefit. Give 8 to all skills, that's going to become, on all Raksha allies when matching 4 or more gems. So again, that is really going to be a cool thing. They're going to get really powerful, and then just cast them back to back and do lots of damage. But Obsidiaxas will be quicker at first, because it does damage to all enemies boosted by Gargoyle gems and stone blocks. So yeah, really cool. Initially we'll just be charging up one or the other of Charlestoni and Obsidiaxas, and later on we'll probably be swapping out an Obsidiaxas for another Cunning to get those lovely skill boosts. Banner for this is going to be the Mushroom Banner, +2 green, +1 brown, -1 red. So I'll just do a little set with these, just to run along the bottom of the mountain. I'm not going to try and get the extra rewards, no need. There we go, Obsidiaxas is up already, just kaboosh. 50% start, a potion of enchantment, ready to cast in no time at all. Yeah, the quickest way for this is just stay on the ground and trot along the bottom of the mountain. No climbing required. If you fancy getting your hiking boots on and your climbing boots and your spikes and stuff and want to go up and around the mountain exploring, you can do that to build up the room treasure multiplier. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to stay at ground level. I don't like heights anyway. So we'll just grab ourselves some, it doesn't matter, just anything will do, won't it? Because Charlestoni is going to create absolutely tons of brown after this, not that we actually needed it, because Obsidiaxas was ready. When you cast Charlestoni, she's likely to charge herself up and Obsidiaxas at the same time. If your Obsidiaxas is going to wipe out the enemy in one go, you can do it that way. If not, you can pick them off with Charlestoni until Obsidiaxas is in a one-shot range. And if you get nothing of your colours, just take anything. You can, or Scalabash, Who cares? We're enchanted. We're going to be ready to go in no time. Obsidiaxas is there. Kaboosh. And the mythic room. Fel Queen's Nest. That's going to be good for Charles Donny. One of those rare opportunities where she didn't loop that time. It's going to happen now and again. Might as well use this for a bit of a walloping. Like I say, it's going to become really powerful, those cunnings, when you put 2 in a team. What I'll do, I might change it now just to show that version of the team. So you can keep on using Obsidiaxas until you finish one shot in the opponent. But what you can do is chuck in 2 cunning. And now what you see is every single time we get those 4 matches with Charleston, our stats on our cunnings are going to be going up by 8 every single time, which means that damage, that 69 damage to an enemy and a random enemy, is going up by 8 every single time. Obviously we don't need to do it particularly just yet, but those 4 matches have already gone up to 85 damage. They're still not charged, but they are now. Ended up being all about Charleston that time, because she looped. So obviously you only gain the extra 2 points on the enchantment every turn. All the time you're getting those 4 matches, you're just boosting up your cunnings as far as you want. They start on 69 for me. It's going to become more relevant on the later levels. Not so much this time. I could have stayed with Obsidiaxas quite easily. Just decided to roll with this. And of course if there's purple enemies as well, then even better. You're going to get double damage on those. That was a 4 match there. See, we've already gone up to 85 now, and that's both of them. Should we do this just for fun? Why not? So, kind of overpowered at the moment for these levels, but we'll really come into its own a bit later on. Crikey. The effects of last night's booze affecting me. This video is a bit later than normal. I had a minor stair accident today. I wasn't going to say anything about it, but I might as well tell it. I was being kind. I was bringing a cup of tea for me and a cup of coffee for my girlfriend. I was Adam in my hands. Started walking up the stairs. 3 or 4 stairs up. Caught the edge of the stair funny. Slipped. Done that thing where your leading leg was sort of the one that was going to go on the stairs, and then the other leg was sort of obviously in the air as you go to walk up the next stair, and it comes slipping straight off. So you're mid-air, crashing down onto the next stair. Obviously you're half trying to save yourself, half trying to save the drinks at the same time. So what happens is they go flying up into the air everywhere as you go crashing onto the stairs like an idiot. Stuff everywhere, like you've never seen such a mess. So that took a little while to clear up. All over the walls, all over the carpets, all over the pictures in the hallway, on the floor. Half an hour of cleaning up later. We think the carpet will be okay. But yeah, that was a comedy of errors to start the day with. Both of those all these 4 matches have just boosted up our cunning now. It's completely overpowered. We don't need 101 damage to an enemy and a random enemy, but it's there. So when we cast them both, we'll just finish off the enemies really quickly. What was bizarre about that tea and coffee incident was hardly any of it went on me. It was really weird. I thought I was going to have a complete change of clothes, but it turned out I didn't actually have to. Very weird. It just suddenly went literally everywhere. My arms just must have just gone like, oh! Just must have just flown out to the sides as I stumbled and gone everywhere. Right, so let's show another variant of a team you can use now. Same concept as charging up cunning, but what we're going to do instead Let's go with a bit of a classic. Some of you people would have seen this before, but we can certainly bring it into play now. 3 times Finesse. And the Nimbus Bow is the weapon. Like that. Still in Construct class, because you still want a 50% start on all your troops, because it's really handy that Finesse is Construct at the same time. But same concept, deals damage to an enemy and a random enemy, but this time if the enemy uses yellow, you're going to deal double damage. But give 4 to all skills on all Strix allies when matching 4 or more gems. But with 3 of these, that becomes give 12 to all skills. You are relying on natural 4 matches this time, but with the Nimbus Bow, you do damage to an enemy boosted by Strix allies, then create a mix of blue and yellow for each Strix ally. So you should get a lot of 4 matches there anyway. The blue is actually wasted, but all those yellow are going to charge up our finesses and give us a lot of damage. So let's just go anything that's double yellow, which doesn't lose us mana, basically. Don't want that. No, don't want minus green. Don't use that. That's not too shabby. Yeah, I'll have a slice of that. Right. Right, so we're looking to get the Nimbus Bow up if we can. Is there any purple? Nope. Is there any green? Nope. That's right. Then we'll go Finesse. They're both charged up at the same time. Just cast one. Cast another one. You've still got another one in backup waiting just to swoop down and do some damage. Didn't even need to cast the Nimbus Bow yet. I had a 4 match then and it ruined it. Anyway, I'll start on 69 damage to an enemy and a random enemy, but we cast this to choose an enemy. Every 4 match we're starting to boost up our stats. We've already got up to 93 damage to an enemy and a random enemy, so gets charged up really fast. You're going to do huge damage. Anybody that uses yellow as well is going to get double damage. Got left on 1 health. That's how I felt when I fell up the stairs. Now, actually, I think I lost 1 health point. That was like a minor toe sprain, if that. Nothing much. I think the carpet lost more health points than me. Alright, we'll grab that. Let's get a load of mana. Look at that. Everyone's charged up at once. Double damage on yellow. You don't need it though, but just keep on casting the troops now. Finish them off. And I'll just finish this little run here and I'll call the video a day. Video, you're a day. Haha. You think I was going to say it. You probably knew it was coming. Alright, let's cast this Nimbus Bow. Booster up our stats. Already on 93 damage to a random enemy and a normal enemy. Cast all your finesses. You can take a look out for 4 matches in the meantime, of course. And when the enemy gets a summon like that, that's really handy that Finesse gets charged so quickly. Well, I've got 1 delve left. Might as well do it quick. This is a really satisfying team when your stats on your Finesse start to go up really high. Like I say, they do start on 69, but boosting up by 12. Every single one. Every single 4 match. Really cool. Obviously, you're not going to need it on the earlier levels, depending upon your magic level. But again, if you're a newer player, this is a really, really good way to get really powerful stats on your team really, really quickly. Because it makes a massive difference to my game, and I'm quite a high level player. So if you're a newer player, you're still going to get 12 to all your stats on every single turn. It's a bit of a game changer if you're a newer player, to be honest. Nice little 4 match there. We'll have a slice of that. Next ones are ready next round. We can cast them back to back. Cast this once or twice. Nimbus Bow failed to get any mana that time. It was a bit rubbish. I have to give it a Skull Wallop then. And of course you can mix and match. If you wanted to chuck in a Chalcedony in this team as well, obviously you'll get 8 to your finesses rather than 12, but it gives you the option to loop with Chalcedony and keep on getting your finesses as overpowered as you want almost. Lots of different options. And this is just on the construct side of things. There are like lots of other possibilities with this. This delve, what you can do regarding teams. I just like teams that make things as easy and straightforward as possible, and I always like to show teams that don't use mythics as well. And teams like this is for the benefit of newer players. This is a really good newer player team. Like I say, you don't need 3 finesses necessarily. You can get by on 2, it will still be really effective. You could go Nimbus Bow, a Chalcedony, Finesse, that would really work. Yes, get them up. So if you want to take a chance, you can actually cast this now to see if we get any 4 matches to booster up the team, but got 81 damage, that's enough. Just cast them all one after the other. And they drop like flies falling off a rabid cow. If that is even a thing. Grab your rewards at the end. Lots of nice things to indulge in. More chaos shards, more gold, souls, mythic ingots, or chaos. Let's see if I get one of those shiny new jobbies. I've had a couple already. No, another Orb of Growth. Cheers. Anyway, there's the video. If you enjoyed it or found it useful, it'd be really cool if you bash that like and subscribe button. But thanks for watching, and I'll catch you again next time. Bye for now.